Hello the class. In the previous video, we have discussed about the Hadoop framework and Spark in general. We also had some idea about the core components or subsystem of the ecosystem. Yes, and we already knew that the most basic but also the most significant component of the framework is the HDFS. It means the Hadoop Distributed File System. We also did some things, yes, with the HDFS in the previous video, is right. We added the contents there. We created new folders, and even we uploaded some data files there. Then in the previous video, we also talk about Mapreduce and had some idea about how Mapreduce works, is right. We also discussed Hive and talk about how Hive working with Mapreduce and HDFS to run jobs, is right, in the ecosystem. Okay, and in this video, you remember that we already uploaded 2 data files into the HDFS. Okay, we remember that we have uploaded data files into the HDFS. Let's get back to our SSH terminal window and access the contents inside of HDFS there to see the file again, before we work with them, is right. So let's run this command. Yes, we already know that under this folder inside of the HDFS, we created 2 subfolders, one for each data file, is right. Okay, now so I want to check the contents of this one, and I like to see the data file there. Okay, so I will users data, yes, then press enter. Now, yes, here is the data file, users data.csv. And now I would like to check the contents of this folder. I would like to see the data file there too. And so let me change this one to weblog. Yes. And then here is the file, weblog.csv. Okay, so the data file is there. Now, as I mentioned previously, we already talked about HDFS and then Mapreduce and then Hive. Yes, and we also knew that Hive worked with Mapreduce and HDFS to process data files. Yes, and the good things about Hive, as we already knew, it means that we can run the script very similar to SQL or SQL. Yes, the same thing, the same script that we can use to process, to manage data in the relational database. Yes, and it is very popular. Okay. Okay, to start working with Hive, we need to start an interface that allows us to run Hive command. Hive commands are very similar to those of SQL, I mean SQL. Yes. Now, to start this interface, we need to run this command. That I will paste this command. Now you see that the first word is beeline. Actually, that is the name of the client interface. that allow us to run Hive command lines. Okay, then space dash u space, and you should type like this one, jdbc colon hive2 colon and then slash local host colon 10,000, and this is the port of the local host. In this case, the local host is not your computer. The local host here, it is the remote server. It means the master node of our cluster. Okay. Now, let's press enter to run this command. Okay, so what do we see here? They say that it connected to the Hive 2, that is the version 2 of the Hive server, at the port to 10,000 of the local host, it means of the remote server. And then right here, it display the version of the Hive, yes. And with this one, we call it Hive prompt. Okay. Okay, I have run a Hive command in the terminal, like you see here. Okay. The command is show space tables and semicolons. Please pay attention to this. Any Hive command is ended with a semicolon. Yes. Without it, it does not run. Okay. And with this command, I would like the system to show me or to inform me or to display for me the name of any table that has been created in the Hive database. We already know that Hive is a system that we can use to manage, to access the data in the Hadoop framework in similar manners as we do with the relational database, or we call it SQL database. Okay. And when we run this command, the system show me this one, and they say no rows selected. You see nothing there. What does this mean? It means that no table has been created inside the Hive database in our cluster. And that is true because our system is brand new. We have not yet created anything. Okay. Now, to start using Hive to process data stored in HDFS of the Hadoop framework, the first thing we need to do is we need to create a table, yes, map on the dataset so that the system can access and process data in the same manner as it does with the relational database or SQL database. Therefore, the command we use here, you will see very similar to the SQL or SQL commands. Okay. So, the first thing we need to do is we will create a table for our dataset. And remember that we have uploaded dataset into the HDFS. Yes. Now we access another SSH terminal, and in this terminal we access the contents of HDFS. Yes, with this command is right. And now we get used to the HDFS command lines. So we know we would like to access the content inside of this folder, and we know that we have created two subfolder for two data set is right. And then let's look at the second one. Yes. And yes, it means we want to find out the data or what is inside of this folder. And here it is. We already saw it before, that inside of this folder in the HDFS, we have a data set and its name is weblog.csv. Okay. Now, what we are doing next, we want to work with this data set. Yes. And we will use Hive. Remember that this data set is currently saved inside of the HDFS folder. Here is this folder. Okay. Hive will access to the HDFS. Yeah. But before we can use Hive to access this data set, we need to create a table. Yes, a schema that map on this data set so that Hive can work with the data inside of this data file. Okay. Now we get back to this terminal. Here we already have only started the Hive interface so that we can run Hive commands. Okay. And what we want to do next is create a table or a schema that map onto the dataset weblog.csv as we just mentioned, is right? Okay, we will do that. What I'm going to do here is I will type a command line, or actually it is a script very similar to SQL script to create a table or schema to map on the dataset weblog.csv. Okay, because it is very long, as I did before, I always type it in a notepad file first. After finishing check everything to be sure I don't make any typo, any error, then I will copy from the notepad file into the terminal right here. Okay. Okay, here is the notepad file where I typed the script to create a table or schema, and here the term is external table. Yes. And we will map this table or schema on the data file weblog.csv inside of this folder or this location. Now, let's go deeper into this script. Here is the command. Very similar to a SQL command to create a table for a relational database. What do we say? What do we tell the system? We tell the system to create an external data table. If this table not exists, it means if inside the system already exists a table named weblogs_3, don't do it. I mean, do nothing. Don't do anything. Okay, we don't want override some table with the same name already existing in the system. Okay, and here is the name of the table. And here is some parameter we put here. Yes, in case, I mean, because this, you see that we would like to create a general schema. We didn't specify any attribute, any column, any variable here. Yes. And we say row format delimited. Yes. It means the data in the data set that we store in the HDFS. The pieces of information or of data are separated by some delimiter. Yes. Either comma or it is tab, whatever. And we stored the data in the data set is a text file. It's true, is right? It is a .csv file and it is a text file. And the location of the data set, where it is right here. That is the full path of the folder where the data set or the data file is saved. Is right? Okay. So we will copy, yes, this script, this Hive script into the terminal and run it to create an external table in Hive database to map that schema onto the data file inside this location. Okay. So we will copy the script to create a table or the external table here. Okay. So I copy it in and paste it here. Okay. What do we see here? That is the script we saw before, is right? And we have seen it. It takes some time to run this script, is right? About 7 seconds or over 6 seconds to create this external table. Yes. And it has finished the job. Yes. Now let's check it again to see if the table has been successfully created or not. Remember that we run this command before to show the tables that have been created in the Hive database. Okay, let's run it again. So show tables and semicolon. Press enter. Okay, what do we see? We see that one table named weblogs_2. You see here? Yes. Has been created inside the Hive database of our system. And that is correct. Okay. Now we have a table created for the dataset weblogs.csv. It means now we can start using Hive command to manage. Yes, manage means to access, to do queries on this dataset. Yes, via or through this Hive interface. And actually this is a table. Yes, very similar like a table in a relational database.